Hey, Adabot, Adabot, get over here. Come on, you have to do yourself.
Oh, hey everybody. Hey, Lady Ada.
How are you doing, Adabot?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, don't forget you have to introduce the show.
The show? What show?
The Ask Engineer show we do. You're supposed to introduce us.
Right. Okay. Live from New York, it's Ask Engineer. Yay!
Thanks, Adabot.
All right. Robot elevator.
Welcome to another fantastic, fabulous Ask Engineer. It is our 3rd birthday. Yay! Time for cupcakes. Thanks, Becky.
Oh, the air conditioning.
You can do it. You can light the candle.
I didn't light it in
Okay.
rehearsal. Yay!
Yay! These are the cute little cupcakes we got.
You gonna
from
blow out the
place.
cupcake? Blow out the candle?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, all 3 of us can do it.
And make a wish?
Okay. Good
All right,
job.
still have some good lung capacity.
Okay.
Okay, here we are. Woo!
It's 3 of us for the 3rd anniversary show. We have special guest Phil,
Yeah.
Lady Ada, the engineer, and Becky.
Hey.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
The super Becky.
Yep, that's me.
This is our 3-year anniversary show. Thank you for joining us. We had a little bit of a special guest, Adabot.
Yes, we now have an extra person on the show. We've added a character, Adabot.
Yeah.
Adabot.
And this is Phil.
Yeah, I downloaded all the good parts of me into Adabot, so Adabot
So
will
this
be...
is what's remaining.
Yeah, just the bad parts.
Hunk of a man over there.
Okay.
All
All right.
Okay, so we got cupcakes. We've
Yeah.
got Adabot. We've got Becky. We got
What
tonight's
more could
show.
you want in
What's
the
on tonight's
show?
show, Phil?
Well, on tonight's show, we're going to talk about the show and tell. We had a booked night. There was a ton of people. We are going to talk about some awesome news in the world of open source hardware, from Bunny getting
EFF.
EFF4,
F.
EFF4, 2, little thing on Lifehacker that you did. We had a month long of educational posts. We upgraded our laser. Kevin Townsend has this fun tip for Eagle and finding.
I hate this
The
thing about
missing-
Eagles. By the way, this is the most annoying thing about Eagles. So
Okay.
I thought there was maybe a better way to do it, but there ain't. This is
A
the
post
only
from
way.
the jobs board. Some cool things from John Engineer. The mailbag. Some
The
news
packet.
from the Adafruit Learning System. Updated tutorials. New tutorials. Some Raspberry Pi news.
Pie.
We'll talk about the next 3 years
Yes.
of Ask an
3
Engineer.
more years.
3 more. This is the Adafruit National Convention here.
Yeah.
There's only 3 people.
Stuff. We'll have new
I accept
products.
your nomination.
We'll answer your questions. We'll have a trivia question. We'll have a cat.
3 years older.
Cat 3 years older. All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Hooray!
Okay.
Phil, eat a cupcake, Phil.
Okay, yeah, we got to do a
I got the
cupcake
red
thing.
velvet cupcake.
I got the Oreo cupcake. You know what? This is supposed to be the best one.
Which one?
This one.
All right, well, if you say so.
Yeah.
We got these little mini cupcakes.
Little-
Bing,
beep,
bonk,
Bing,
bonk,
bong,
yeah.
bing. Ow.
Oh,
Okay, 3 years we've been doing this. So, here's a 3-year graphic. Look at that. This one. Look at that. We'll lay it about.
what's it about?
Okay. The code tonight is 3.
3.
Yeah, we had it last night because the
was right
beginning of Ask an Engineer was over a couple week period. So this is that couple week period 3
You're like
years
a
later.
Yeah.
muddy anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's
Good.
close enough.
Well, it wasn't called Ask an Engineer at first. It was called Watch Phil and Lamore Do Shipping
That was
live.
glorious.
Yeah. And then it turned into Ask
We'll
an
probably do
Engineer.
that again this Christmas because it is a popular show.
Yeah. I watched it. I was watching it.
Yeah.
You were watching it from Arizona.
I was watching it.
Yeah. It was the best shipping show at the time.
It was really good.
Now Ustream is full of like
Well,
shipping shows.
I just like left it on while I was working and I didn't feel so lonely anymore.
Yeah, somebody else is working as hard as I am.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's jump right to the show and tell. It was packed. Everybody
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Okay,
everybody showed up and they delivered. Okay.
let's do.
The first
a
one
rundown.
was David, and David
The
showed. He's doing some foam latex stuff for a Planet of the Apes costume, which is awesome.
Or cosplay, whichever. It's cool.
It's all
Still a
good.
costume.
No judgment.
Yeah, and
So he's temperature monitoring the oven, not the
yeah,
oven, the heater.
and he was using an Arduino to do that, and so far it looks like it's getting better
yeah,
results.
He's getting results.
And then Christian showed up with a business card. There
He's a
seems to
PhD
be
student, so he needs a job. Because
Yeah.
he's going to graduate soon. Because he's got to finish his thesis, get a job. So he has
Yeah.
a business card, and he's a graphics student, so he made a cool graphics business card with these LED grids that we sell in the store, little
Yeah.
mini ones. And then the cool thing is, he didn't just like whatever the lazinessify it. He went all out, and he not only he used like this LPC chip, and he did like binary coded dithering, not dithering, brightness levels. So like each pixel has its own brightness, which is cool.
And the game
Binary
was
coding.
Defender, right? That was the game.
It was like a Defender's game
little
where
shooting
yeah,
game,
it gets harder, and the graphics were like totally awesome.
It was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice.
And the theme that I'm starting to see is people are doing business card PCBs.
Yeah,
so
those
we
are
should
cool.
we'll probably do a post and collect them all up and maybe have a contest.
Contest.
That'd be kind
We
of
don't really do contests, but for really cool stuff, we'll do contests.
Yeah, and the person who wins is probably going to get a job because like that business card will be out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, T. Hudson had a really cool vector mode display for an oscilloscope.
Yeah, he used a Teensy, and he went hardcore. He went with he got some 1% resistors, and he's like, I don't want to use a DAC chip. Like, that's totally lame. I'm just going to use an R2R ladder, which you can do if you have enough pins.
Yeah.
You just create a ladder of the resistors, and in fact, the Zoxbox, that's how it does the sound generation.
Oh,
It
that's
also
cool.
does an R2R ladder. And it worked really beautifully, and he said he used a Spectre art, and like, it was really nice clock.
Yeah.
And he's going to make a standalone one.
And he's a fellow who was doing 1 impulse watch face per day.
Yes, this was a watch face.
So yeah, it was kind of neat.
Yeah, so he's going to reuse some of his fonts
Yeah,
and stuff.
it'll be neat when the Pebbles ship because a lot of people are probably going to do cool like e-ink stuff with that.
Yeah.
Displays. William G had a homemade fume extractor, which is very cool.
Yeah, he just made out of stuff he had kicking around.
Yeah, and very handy to have. And it takes, how long does it take to stop doing the breathing technique?
I stopped after like 6 months.
Yeah, instead of like breathing out the side or breathing into
No,
Just
you
blow
when
blowing
you
on
blow
it.
when you
Yeah,
when
but I'm
you-
saying, so
yeah.
the
I
flames,
still
like,
do it even though I've had a fume extractor for, more than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Jeremy learned how to sew right before the show, and he had a LED
Matrix on his
matrix
t-shirt.
thing that said Jeremy Hart's.
Yeah. He
Adafruit
made his little
show
board.
and tell. It
He
was really
has
neat.
a lane rampage. He has
Yeah.
like every board he has. He's like, I have 18 bazillion purple boards. He just loves it.
He's got a lot of them.
It's cool.
And then Chris was he has an update for his WriterNet,
Yeah.
and he's using an RTC.
So he did wider pool,
Yeah.
and now he's backing off of the pool and going back to WriterNet and WriterScan, his horse management software.
Yeah, and he has his own protocol.
It's really
and
good
stuff like
that when people have horse management XP protocols, I think that is a big market
Mm-hmm.
for horses.
Yeah.
I want a
It's
horse.
stable.
And
You
then
ever had a horse? Yeah, I
Rob
I did
from
ride horses when I was a kid. Yeah.
did you manage them with wireless products?
I didn't do no electronics then.
Ooh.
I was like 7.
She didn't. She just used like a cup and string.
Okay. And then Rob from Motate. Rob's like a code overclocker, so he's going through libraries for Arduino and really tweaking the code to
Make them fast.
to make them super fast and do other stuff with
With
them.
what the goal so that you can control stepper motors without having to spend a lot of extra time on
think so.
your
Yeah.
graphics library.
motion control
Motion
stuff.
control stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the end of the project.
So precision, motion control.
Yeah.
We're using a low-cost microcontroller.
Mm-hmm.
So that was intense stuff. This was an excellent show and tell. Be sure to check the comments because people post up links.
Yep, and
And then do you want to tell people? Oh, by the way, if you're on the show and tell and you showed something really cool and you want one of these stickers, let us know. Especially if you place an order, let us know ahead of time. We can toss it in. But we can also send you out one. We got these
Alright.
stickers made as seen on the show and
they
tell.
are cool stickers. They're
People-
nice vinyl stickers. They will last
Yeah.
you years.
Folks
at
were
least 3
asking
years.
because they want to slap it on their projects at Maker Faire.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Lady Ada,
Enough.
how do people get on the show and tell?
Easy. If you want to be on the show and tell, you have to be in my personal circle for show and tell because I can't invite all the public. I have to invite a circle. So just when I post up, and I say respond here to get added to the circle, just respond and say, hey, I want to be added to the circle, and I'll add you, and then you'll get an invite every single week. And so anytime you want to show something, you can show up. You can show up as many times as you want.
Show and
But-
tell club.
But you do have to show a project. We've actually gotten very good. We've had almost no people show up in like a year who didn't have a project.
Well, it's
good.
lame to show up without a project.
Well, they do have to be asked to be added to the show and tell circle.
Right.
And
So if they've
it
done
works
that
out.
already,
Yeah.
Jeremy said, right? He was like, "Oh well, I signed up. I said yes to the event, and then like I had
You
to
said
make
peer
something."
pressure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a potluck, and if you sign up to bring a dessert, you have to bring a dessert.
And you don't bring a dessert. people are gonna be like,
Some
"Oh."
news in the world of open source hardware.
We got the conference coming in like 3 weeks.
Summit's coming up, and
Get
then
your
Maker Faire
tickets.
is coming up. Yeah, there's only like 20-something tickets left.
You gotta get your ticket immediately.
Big news. Bunny got an
Bunny.
EFF Pioneer Award.
Has Bunny ever been on the show, or
Yay.
we've never managed to get him on the show?
Bunny has visited but has not been on the
He's
show
never
yet
visited
because it's
exactly
always-
at the right
It's
time.
not worked out.
Congratulations, Bunny.
Is my hero. I have a hero. It's Bunny. And now Bunny is like a certified hero because he has an
Yeah.
award. He's a pioneer.
Yeah, so you got this award a long time ago, and you were, I think, one of the first hardware hackers, and now Bunny has this award. And Bunny is kind of like the grandfather of like open source hardware. Like he really was.
And hardware hacking.
Yeah, and hardware hacking. Wrote a book and the publisher couldn't publish it because it was How to Hack the Xbox. So he published it himself and shipped it himself. We sold out of those. We finally got through the batch.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was He, and he's saying I asked him, is he going to be back in print? He said, well, that doesn't sell very much because it's such an obscure title. But he might put the PDF up so people can read it.
It's the best book on reverse engineering, and he really showed the process in which he hacked the Xbox.
The part where he scrapes the mask off of the differential bus, and then he grinds down a PCB, and he taps into the bus by soldering the it's just incredible. You have to see it. It's just wow, that's totally brilliant and awesome, and the best way to tap into a high-speed differential bus.
Yeah, and then the latest thing that he did that I thought was really clever, in addition to all his other stuff, like the the open source radiation detectors and stuff, was the NETV. Yeah. Because that does a really neat thing with the HDMI stuff. Mm-hmm. So it can actually overlay something on top of an encrypted signal, and it's so weird and complicated that no one really gets how crazy it is. So check out his talk. Check out the NETV product page. Mm-hmm. It's really bizarre and crazy. There's no analogy for it. That's how neat it is. Bob and Sue work in a building, and there's a teleporter, and there's an envelope, and you put the packet in, but it's the same looking envelope.
Yeah, it's really cool because he doesn't actually decrypt anything. So technically what he's doing is not illegal.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah. Next up. You did a How I Work on Lifehacker.
Yeah, I did a really short interview. It was like an hour long, but it was rapid fire.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions.
And a lot of people asked questions about how I work, and a lot of people, it's really funny because I do read Lifehacker, and I think a lot of Lifehacker is it's focused on to-do lists and having the right email client and having a really organized desk. And I'm anyway, my desk is full of crap. I use this.
My crap you're working on.
I don't have a to-do list. My email is what is my inbox is my to-do list, and I'm not organized at all. And I wake up and I'm just I don't even know what I have. I can't predict a day in advance because running a business is like that. So I think it was, and I don't have a cell phone. So I think it was a little bit traumatic, but
you need a work mobile email client here.
And I'm I don't have a phone. So they're okay, that's really weird. But do check it out. We answered 30 questions. I answered 30 questions really, really fast, and I talked about how I work.
Messy desks are good.
Basically, it's a scramble.
Yeah.
Your desk is clean. That means you're not working on much besides cleaning your desk.
Yeah.
I do like a clean desk.
I like it when it's clean.
My goal is to get everything off my desk because I finished with everything.
Right.
But it's never really happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're talking. I know how it goes.
Next up, they're still voting for the Entrepreneur of the Year. Speaking of you, lady.
When does voting close, Bill?
I think in the
15th.
I think this 15th of September.
Yeah.
So for all of you who have phones.
Mid-month.
Okay.
Initially, it was a Facebook-only vote, and that's kind of a barrier for people who are really into open source and valuing privacy. So
I also don't have a Facebook account.
Yeah, you don't have a Facebook account.
There is an Adafruit Facebook page, though, that I put stuff on sometimes.
Good work, Becky.
Yeah.
Becky does a very good job with it.
Okay, so everybody, grab your phone.
So but you can text, and we tested this out, and it texts you back and says, we'll never share your number, we'll never spam you and everything.
Yeah.
And it's a company that does this, and they don't do that. We did it first before we tried this out. I'll post a link up to the entrepreneur thing right now. But if you can vote for Lady Ada, that means that someone like all of us may possibly...
and I'm going to be in this magazine about starting business. I'm going to tell people to give away all their intellectual property. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
And they'll be that's totally not. Then it's going to be across an article about how to patent your invention.
The more you give, the more you get is the theme. So, anyways, text away. If you text code 170-116 to 22333, it's a vote for Lady Ada for Entrepreneur of the Year.
Thanks. I wish there were a way to see how people were doing. It's not a live. It's not a live poll. They won't show us.
No.
I wish, because it would get us excited. Oh, we only, it would. But we do need all of the votes.
In the end, it's going to be Julian Assange. I mean, it always is.
He's not an Entrepreneur of the Year.
That's why it's weird.
By overwhelming write-in vote.
4chan is not voting on this.
Okay.
Becky,
what are you talking about? 4chan's voting on everything all the time.
You just did a giant series of posts, you and Tyler, on the blog. What was this series about?
It's back to school month, and although now it's September 1st, August was back to school month.
It's back to school weekend.
And right now it's back to school weekend. It's Labor Day weekend, and I'm going to start teaching at SVA on Tuesday.
What are you teaching?
a class about, like Arduino and stuff.
Ah, that's cool.
But all August long me and Tyler did a post every weekday about something cool related to school. So we do like roundups on different project types that are popular, like clocks or project like getting started learning kits and books, and then we also reminded everyone about our lovely educators program where everyone gets volume discounts and special educator ordering capabilities and stuff at the Adafruit site. And I think it went really well.
This was a record
Phil
year.
said it went really well.
Yeah, this was a record year for educators contacting Adafruit for discounts and for stuff. It was fantastic. A lot of people really liked the badging system. They liked the educator discounts. We did custom packs for schools. So, cool stuff. And those posts are great. Just go to the blog and search for pound back to school.
Yeah, back to school.
There's a lot.
And as I tried to remind everyone in the posts, we have educator program discounts and stuff all year, not just right when school starts.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, speaking of education and educators, Adam Kemp, real life school teacher who's teaching kids on the front line.
Yeah, I don't really teach. He teaches like high school, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm a teacher, but I teach grad students, so it's kind of like, hey, Lamore, you want to learn how to do a backstitch? And
okay.
Yeah. So it's
He's getting them while they're young. So
right.
The first question this week was, how can I become a teacher in STEM? There's a teacher who wanted to know. Excellent response.
That's a good question.
Excellent response. Yeah. And then the other one was, how do I know if my Arduino is a good match for a project? Another really great
good question.
Good question.
So just go to the blog and look up.
And the best thing about this, it's like you get to talk to a teacher that worrying that they're going to fail you or give you demerits or anything.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
He's off the teacher clock.
He's off the teacher clock. Next up, and you could probably talk to this, Lamar. Kevin posts up these great tips about all sorts of things for EEs. So this is how to find that missing air wire. So he has this tip. Do you want to talk about why this is kind of an interesting thing?
So when you're doing Eagle, I don't know why the hell this is so hard in Eagle, but you get your rat's nest, you get your parts in, you arrange them, and then you route them. And especially sometimes if you're like moving something or you change a package, you'll get little air wires. So sometimes really small ones. And I always check like nothing more to do or something. Whatever, like when you're done, it says like there's no more air wires. But right before you send out for fab. But sometimes if the air wire is like it's less than a mil because it's like a package got moved a teeny bit or something got rearranged, and so like it's not like a really long trace, it's just a little trace. But you still want to get rid of it and make sure that you have all the connections. There's nothing worse than, or is it like a ground plane like changes and then like it'll break. So I have no other way that I know how to do this. But like Kevin, he's like, this is how I do it. You just zoom out all the way and then you just click with the wire tool and it will pick up because it has to just be within like 1 inch or whatever. And then you can zoom back in. And yeah, it sucks, but like this is the best way to figure it out.
There's stuff.
And apparently there's ULPs that help you with this, but like, and it doesn't happen all the time, but like when it does, it is fast. Once you get used to doing this, like zooming out, because you can use the scrolly button.
Oh, okay.
Just zoom out, click, and then scroll back in, and it'll latch onto it.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm going to keep moving along. Going really fast because we got a lot of stuff to get tonight. We upgraded our laser to 60 watts.
It is a megawatts.
It came with the new tube came with that sticker, huh?
Yep.
Yes.
So you have a sticker. This is the old tube that we removed and we have to send back. This is a good friend who got us here. We talked about it briefly last week. But here's just one thing. So our Ardex plates that we use for Ardex, it used to take 1 hour. Now it takes 16 minutes.
16 minutes.
That's significant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It cuts so fast.
Yeah. Lasers. All right.
And also the rastering. It doesn't do it faster, but you can use a lower resolution. It will look as good.
Yeah. It's a powerful,
nice.
Powerful laser. Adafruit has a jobs board. Someone is looking for a C++ programmer and or Arduino. Go check it out. Adafruit.com/jobs. Lots of makers posting their skills. Lots of cool companies looking for makers. We have like a pretty much like 100% like matchmaking thing. Yeah.
And it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to pay a headhunter $15,000 to $50,000 to find a person.
Doesn't cost anything, and I approve all of them, so I don't let any on there that aren't.
And we don't have headhunters up there. We only
don't.
have direct business company to client. So if you're work for a company and you need like a good, we have a lot of like hardcore engineers, not just makers, but like makers or engineers as well, who show up and read the blog because we have some intense EE articles once in a while. So
lots of schools use it to get really great experts to run their labs. People have used it to find documentation experts. People have found it to.
It's a free service we provide. Use it if you're looking for a job. Post up your skills. If you have a job, post it up.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more places for people to look.
Yep. Okay, next up, John Junior has been cranking through awesome friction stuff. These are all the
Look at that nice gradient, that silver gradient. Nice one. Okay, so in this pack, wait, go back. Hold on, I should mention what's in this pack. We have our 2.1 millimeter terminal block to millimeter jack to terminal block. Really handy if you want to use a power supply and get wires. We have the BMP 085 barometric pressure sensor, the DS1307 real-time clock, and the micro SD 5-volt safe breakout board.
Okay.
We also have our arcade buttons in all their cute glossy colors. And finally, we have the PermaProtos, so that you can design your circuit right on a PermaProto, and it will have all the layout, and then you can use the letters and numbers to make sure that your project matches. So you can design your project before you solder it in.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be an awesome idea?
Yes.
Yeah, and these took forever, so everyone thank John for doing this.
Thanks, John.
And then we get this.
And he also did a LiPo charger, USB LiPo charger,
Beautiful.
and one of our LiPo batteries.
Yeah.
And it does the right thing, so it clicks in place correctly. So you see the green dots. If you put it on the back layer, it clicks in, and it's like the battery clicks into the slot. Yeah.
Okay. I've got some site news. We just had our first day ever of zero spam on our very popular forums.
Yeah.
So this is why it's important. It's kind of crazy. Our forums are so popular, they're so useful, that everybody who spams, from like electronics companies, PCB makers, just about competitors we've caught, everyone wants to spam. So they actually hire people. There's real humans. But we're getting very close to solving it. First day of the month, we use a system called Mullum that'll analyze it. There's a CAPTCHA if it thinks it's spam. We have a really good word list that keeps out a lot of things. And
the word list is just a bucket of sad.
Yeah. I kind of feel gross every time I load up the banned word list because I've had to add a lot. But we think we did it. And there'll always be spam on any popular site. And these are the customer support forums, and people want to try to trick you. They want to put bad stuff into the forums. We have a full team that's dedicated to not only answering questions but getting rid of the stuff.
Yeah.
But we're working on it, and it's a big deal.
We spent like a week or two on this problem because it was getting out of control, and we were personally deleting all the spam messages, and eventually it was like, okay, we can't spend a half an hour a day deleting spam messages.
Yeah, and so, the spammers will keep trying, but so we'll wait.
Okay.
So
we have the technology.
Yeah, we do. Okay, mailbag, we'll do a very quick one. This one came in through Google+. We like the mailbag. Speaking of mails that we'd like to get.
How does Packet feel about spam?
Packet doesn't like spam. Mark said, I'll use this opportunity to state that your learning page is awesome. Obviously, it should help bring you more customers. But either way, thank you so much for writing and sharing that information. Learning System fan mail.
Yay.
Cool stuff. Okay, moving right along. We've got so much stuff I got to get.
Learning system update.
Speaking of the learning system.
The learning system, I think we had the RSS feeds are improved, and also we have we had a bit of a scrolling bug. We fixed it, and and we added a ton more tutorials.
Yep.
Like the 1.8-inch TFT breakout board, very popular. Now has its own tutorial. Also, its big sister, the 2.2-inch TFT breakout board with SD card.
Yep.
The Ultimate GPS version 3, so we updated the tutorial and then updated it. We ported the tutorial to the learning system and then updated it to cover the version 3 of the Ultimate GPS breakout. Super popular, best GPS in the world. We also updated the LED pixels tutorial with
Adalite, yep.
Adalite, sorry, Adalite. The I2C SPI LCD backpack.
Yep.
Also seen in the next photo, we updated the tutorial into the tutorial system.
Yep, and then we had a couple things for Raspberry Pi.
We have a Raspberry Pi tutorial as well.
So we have this little Raspberry Pi section. So we have one new tutorial in the Raspberry Pi section. This is the RTC.
This is the real-time clock tutorial. So this is showing how you can, so the Raspberry Pi, to keep the cost like really low, they don't include real-time clock. So like your laptop or your computer, like, you turn it off or you remove the battery, it knows what time it is. There's a if you look at the motherboard, you'll see the big coin cell. So it keeps track of time for like up to 7 or 10 years or something. Which is why really old computers, like, they lose track of time. They get like senile or whatever. And but the Pi doesn't have that because they want to keep the cost really low, and it adds it's like $2 or $3 in parts. It's expensive. And so they didn't include it, but a lot of people, like, if you're not connected to a network, like if you're on like the internet, like Wi-Fi,
you can look up what time it is.
Yeah, the time gets updated automatically from like the network time protocol servers all over the internet, and so that's how it gets the perfect time. But let's say you have a project that's standalone, which is not unlikely, or you have you're going to get the Raspberry Pi without Ethernet. So hey, how are you going to know the time? Well, what you can do is you can use a real-time clock, and so the latest kernel that we compiled for Occidentalis has support for real-time clocks in it, which is it's not built into the default distribution that comes with from the Pi Foundation. I think they just like haven't gotten around to adding it, but they probably will. But if you want to get going with a real-time clock now, you can load up our distribution. We did a tutorial on how to enable it, and then you set the time. Like you connect to the internet to get the correct atomic time, whatever the closest to atomic time. You set the real-time clock, and then you can have so that the module has the right time, and then when you start up, it will get the time automatically from
that's
the
awesome.
RTC. So yeah,
Okay.
that's a tool.
So that's it. And then speaking of, we released the new version of Adafruit's educational Linux distribution called Occidentalis.
Yeah.
The Black Raspberry.
That was my week. This week was like all Occidentalis. I spent a lot of time on this distro. It's been a month since the first Occidentalis. Remember when it was first version?
Yeah.
So long ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Tears.
It barely fit on my 4 gigabyte SD card.
Yeah, well, we fixed that. So that's one of the first things we did. We truncated the image. So instead of having, because what I did is when I booted that up, I just expanded it to the full size 4 gig card. Didn't realize all 4 gig cards aren't the same size. Some are actually a little bit smaller. So what I did is I didn't expand it all the way. I expanded only like half a gig because it doesn't fit on a 2 gig card. There's no way it'll fit because like by the time you put in the kernel and the extra modules, like they only gave you like 50 extra megabytes on the distro. So like I couldn't fit.
So this way, if your 4 gig card has a bad block, like
yeah,
mine
but that's
did,
some bad blocks. Yeah, it'll fit, and then you can expand it. And so I also left in the Raspberry Pi config like startup boot thing. So like when you boot it up, it'll say, hey, don't forget to run the config, because some people didn't realize it. It's actually quite easy to expand the disk to fit your card, whatever size it is. Also, you want to set maybe change your password very easily. It will do it right there, or you can set your time zone, locale. So
great,
it'll be right, and also your keyboard. So like if you want to use like I think the hash key, it's different. It's like a pound symbol. You're like, what the heck? Because it's British instead of American.
Oh, you crazy! Everything's metric.
Yeah, it's the metric keyboard. Anyway, so it'll remind you to do that. So I added that.
Cool.
And then another thing is because people were saying like, hey, you really shouldn't have it use the default password with SSH on. And I was like, well, the default distro does it too. So I added a little thing on the profile, and if you are using the default password, it'll tell you to remind you, like change it. So until you do, it'll stay there. So hopefully that'll help people.
That'll help me. I'm a very Linux beginner, so
it tells you how to do it. It says type in this to change your password.
That's who the Raspberry Pi is made for.
Yeah.
We're trying to do our best to make it a friendly thing for kids to use, to kids to learn, for people who've never touched Linux before, a very friendly and approachable way. So that's why we do Occidental, our own distribution.
Yeah.
Someone's calling it the batteries included distribution because you get it and you can make
it is ready.
You can make everything.
That's
it has Wi-Fi built in. It has everything.
Yeah.
I went through the device driver. I mean, I did a cursory look at the device drivers menu on the 3.1.9 kernel, and I added all the sensors that sound familiar. So right now it has hardware support for a bunch of RTCs, like the DS1307. And then I also added some 8525 series analog devices, digipots, a compass sensor, the HMC 6352, the BMP 085, barometric pressures are popular, the ADS 1015, I2C analog digital converter, which we'll have breakout boards for soon anyways. So there's a couple more kernel modules, and you can look at my kernel module config. It's in the GitHub repo, and look exactly what I added. I don't remember all of them. And then the really big update is we added our own kernel module. We actually started adding. We're contributing back to the Linux kernel by we created a kernel module for the PWM output. There's one PWM output on the Pi, and people love pulse width modulating because there's like LEDs and shit.
Yeah.
And also you can drive servos.
Yeah.
Servos.
So the problem is you can do software PWM, but servos are actually very, very sensitive. If you've ever tried to do software PWM with a servo, you'll notice it jitters a lot. And it makes a noise when it does that. It's a little annoying.
Yeah.
But the Raspberry Pi has one PWM pin available. It is shared with audio, so you can't do servo and audio, but maybe for some projects that's okay. So we wrote, we hired Sean Cross, who's this awesome Linux kernel developer, and he totally kicked ass, and with this excellent kernel module, and it's so easy. You just write the frequency, just echo 2000 into the file, and it will just be 2000 hertz PWM.
Great.
And then you can say what duty cycle you want, so you can Echo 50 and it'll be 50% dew
That would be
cycle.
good for like LED stuff.
Yeah, you can do that LEDs, or like there's other things that sometimes
Yeah.
need PWM, or you can if you just want an analog output that's really cheap, you can use an RC filter on that. Like let's say you just like, oh, I just need to like bias something, or I need an analog output. You can use PWM and adjust it. You could also make a really, really cheap boost converter, like we should do that with the ice tube. You could do that if you want PWM output. There's a couple of situations where you want a good PWM.
So someone wants to know, why would you have a kernel module and not just write a software library?
So the thing with we did start with some code, and we'll post about it this week. That Sean did write some code that does it with a software module. First off, the software library is in C, and so you would have to, we'd have to basically port it for everything, which is kind of a pain. Second, it opens up DevMem, which it's kind of like the high wire act of like kernel hacking. It's okay and you can do it because you're opening up basically the memory register file and you're just shoving data into it. And it's not really a good idea. You probably shouldn't be doing it. You can't, I don't think you can give permissions to anybody to do it. You have to be root.
Okay.
Whereas with user space.
So this is not a beginner thing at all.
You can do it, and I've done it. I've messed with DevKmem, but it's you just have to be really careful. And we thought well, we might as well make it much easier and simpler and friendlier for people to use. So you can use it with a shell script instead of having the C program. You can do it, but we thought this is meant for beginners. We don't want anyone to think that this is. I mean, it's not socially acceptable in my world to talk to DevMem. I mean, you can do it. My uncle did it, and it's cool. But at Thanksgiving, people were it's uncomfortable. Everyone's at the table, and it's
you have to sit down at that end of the table.
No, it's just it's not comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with it. It's like you're running a full scale Linux computer, and you're basically pulling it open and just shoving stuff in from
open heart surgery.
Yeah, it's like open heart surgery. Not
high wire act.
Better if the kernel does it. It's all clean and beautiful and nice, and
you can't.
Well, we're sticking to the goal of having this for beginners, so I'm glad you're doing that hard work behind the scenes.
There's also a thing where you
can
can lock up the system if you have audio playing. And you write to the PWM, and so that's tougher. You could so the kernel module.
Once you start to doing the software, you can't do two things at the same time like that.
No, it's just the PWM is only used for audio or. It's used for audio. So if you want to use it for servo, if you try to change it on the fly, the audio kernel module flips the frick out. So you can't do that. So you have to be a little more careful. You will lock up the system if you're not careful about it. So we decided to make a kernel module and make it nice and easy.
Okay.
That's so good. I mean, you want to have a tidy desk and a tidy kernel.
All right, so everybody go check it out. New build. All right, just a reminder, our code is 3 gets you 10% off many kits from the Adafruit store.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of 3.
3.
This is our 3rd year anniversary. Do you want another cupcake before we...
We get 3 cupcakes each. No, you have to get 4 cupcakes each.
Do we have another one? Okay. Maybe we'll get the cupcake. Okay, I have to do some talking. You guys can have a cupcake. So, we started Ask an Engineer about 3 years ago. This is a screenshot from one of the first Ask an Engineers. When we did this, it was this was when you were doing all the kidding, pretty much, and I was doing all the shipping, pretty much. This is when we started to get some employees. We had people helping us, but a lot of it was just you and I doing a lot of the stuff.
So you're the guy's idea of a hot Saturday night list of ship packages live on the internet.
Yeah, and so what we thought was, because there was people who...
Party!
Well, the other thing is the business was kind of taking off and we couldn't travel.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, well, how can we get engineering information out to the most number of people? And 3 years ago, there was Ustream, it was starting to get easy to broadcast video online. And I think that's ultimately the future.
Yeah.
Not as much traveling for people, more recording and broadcasting of great content and sharing it on places like YouTube. And it looks like that's true. So that's the origins of Ask an Engineer there. I'm shipping. Laura's about to put it in
We've
the
always
box.
been on Ustream, right? But
We've always been on Ustream.
We didn't have Ustream produced, we didn't exist yet, right?
Yeah.
So we were there was one camera, and it was hey everybody, we have one camera, and I would hold up
We
things.
broadcast from the web interface.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing was janky.
Yeah, we use that. So just real quick, I wanted to thank a bunch of people who have worked with Adafruit in some way, from our employees to other folks. Aaron, Adam, Alex, Andy, Bateman, Becky, Bill, Brian, Bruce, Chris, Colin, Daigo, Dan, Danny, Darren, David, Don, Elizabeth, Aaron, George, who does all the recording. Thank you, George. That's why you're highlighted in blue. James, Joe, John Junior.
John Junior, who's on 2
Aw.
lines. He's too big for one line.
He gets 2 because he's been doing a lot of cool work lately. Josh, Judy, Julian, Justin, Kevin, Chris, K-Town, Marty, Mike, Mikey.
Wait, Kevin and K-Town. Oh, there's 2 Kevins.
Yeah, we have
3 Dans.
Mr. Maltz, Nathan, Phil B, Rick, Rose, Roxanne, Stefan, Steve K, Tom, Tyler, Waz, Will, Zay, Meg, Wire. These are all entities or people that have helped us along the way. But most of all, we'd like to thank everybody out there who watches every week, who supports Adafruit with orders. You're our community, our customers, our friends.
Aww.
It's
Have
really...
a cupcake.
Yeah, I'm going to have a cupcake.
Have this minty one.
I'm going to have the minty one.
Yeah, the minty one.
But that we're here because of everybody out there. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we wouldn't do the show if nobody watched, I think.
Yeah.
Your cupcake,
Really?
and then you take the minty one,
Yeah,
and then let's show
I'm gonna do that.
the audience the cupcake so they can pick the one of the rest.
Oh,
So here,
it's
take
gonna
one
be-
and then put it on the overhead.
Is this going to be crowdsourced cupcaking?
You guys, all of the remain, we ate the best
You
ones
pick-
already.
well,
No,
we can't.
you pick
Yeah.
which one you want. I think this one
This
is
is s'mores.
peanut butter and
S'mores.
This one's peanut butter and jelly. What's that
Oreo?
one?
I don't know. White chocolate?
All right, the
Peanut
mint
butter.
one kind of tastes like toothpaste.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah.
Do you want to do over?
No, it's fine.
You love eating toothpaste.
Totally fine.
So you guys get these cupcakes. I hope you like them.
They're mini cupcakes. Well, it's nice because you get like different flavors.
I
Yeah.
feel like I took a cupcake hit for the cupcake team. Okay. So now instead of looking back, we don't like to do that. We were gonna like maybe do a highlight
Oh,
show.
we're not gonna have like a bloopers reel.
No, it's all bloopers. We weren't. I don't want to have like best of and all that because I like looking forward. So
Yeah.
I do like editing clips reels. So, you can
you
call
want to.
on me. I didn't,
if you want to.
That's a lot of,
Five year
So
it's a
what we're
lot
going to
of
talk
footage.
about just for a few minutes before we run out of time and jump into a bunch of stuff is what's going to happen in the next few months with Adafruit.
The future.
This is all about the future.
Where's my periscope?
So one of the things we're going to add soon is a new segment on Ask an Engineer, and it's going to be all about wearable electronics.
And sewing.
And sewing for
And
Jeremy.
sewing and all sorts of
And
things. Here's
felting.
here's Becky doing
We could do
surface
some
mount
felting.
stuff.
She learned surface mount,
I learned it.
and then she made
Flora.
the pixels.
And so
I
Becky,
had to revise circuit board.
you're gonna have
Thank you, Lord.
a segment on Ask an Engineer. What type of things do you want the world to see about
I want
wearable
to see all of
electronics?
the things they can build.
Yeah.
So I want to see projects that people are making, and then new stuff that we're doing, of course, and maybe some instructional things. We
Yeah.
might do some. It might not be me sitting here every week. It could be some pre-recorded video, like
Yeah.
because that macro lens,
It's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough to show at Sewing Machine Live.
Yeah.
the super tiny stuff, and would go through some cool materials. I'd love to explore. Here's some. I have some conductive paint at home that I've been trying to play with. And show you guys all that stuff. So lots of experiments, new
Yeah.
techniques, and stuff that you guys make, and stuff we're
Yeah.
working on
Okay.
at Adafruit.
I feel like the world of wearables is still kind of undiscovered for everybody else. So I
Yeah,
think you're gonna be exploring this world and bringing it to everybody.
Right.
And I like that there's such crossover happening right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Jeremy in the show and tell is a perfect example. He's sewing stuff and he does stuff with Adafruit products all the time. He's on the show
Yeah.
and tell. I think that
Yeah.
we're going to see a lot of cool projects. So that's a segment coming up soon.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Next up, little update. The coloring book is almost ready to go to print. I've been working on this for a couple of years. Here are some glimpses of some of the pages.
It's called E is for electronics.
Lady A to Z is for electronics. And here's some of the pages here. You can see the text is finally in. John Janier is working with us on this. D is for diode, C is for capacitor, F is for frequency. You can see it's really coming together. It's very kid-friendly. Not only is it going to print, but you'll be able to download it. We're doing our normal
Of course.
Creative Commons things, because that's how we roll. And so people will be able to print their own and have their kids color. And it's the goal is for the kids to color, just start to get familiar with, hey, I'm coloring in a capacitor, and there's a person who maybe made this, and the parents will talk to them. So it's not just coloring in; it's actually interactive, and the kids are asking, oh wow, that's like that girl I saw who does engineering. I can imagine wanting to do that for a living. So anyways, that's the coloring book, and this is kind of part of the world of Circuit Playground. So for the folks at home, we have an iPhone, an iPad app called Circuit Playground.
And we have more updates coming soon, yeah?
And more updates coming soon. We're going to do the next update probably within the next week. So if you don't have Circuit... Yeah, it's
Oh,
coming
boy.
up.
I got to get on beta testing. Beta testing time.
Yeah. So...
Can we talk about what's in the next version?
we will in the
tips?
next show.
Okay.
Yeah, next show. We have some cool
More
stuff coming.
awesome engineering.
Yeah. So Circuit Playground is meant to be other things too. So Circuit Playground has these little characters.
Like Adabot.
Like Adabot, like all these other things. And Circuit Playground is more than just an app. It's meant to maybe be
It's
a game.
Lifestyle.
Maybe it's
Well,
meant to
it's
be.
sort of. I mean, it's all over the Adafruit site.
Yeah,
It's like
so
a
like on our
welcoming
Twitter
environment.
page, on the Part Finder. What we want to do is show that like
YouTube, the YouTube channel
YouTube
design.
channel. Yeah.
Nice job with that.
So for the people that have been kind of
Personal.
paying really close attention to Adafruit, you've noticed that there's more kids getting involved in electronics.
Yeah.
So we wanted
Younger
to have
and
something,
younger.
Yeah, super young.
Yeah.
So we wanted
And
to
they're
have something
building
for them.
quadcopters that
They're
are
building
I know.
quadcopters and coming on our show and making this all like.
You know, if my junior high school classmates were
Yeah.
building quadcopters, I would have had so many more friends.
So
We just read Tiger being collected baseball
So we're
cards. like-
pleased to announce that Circuit Playground will be a game for multiple platforms one day.
Yeah.
We're also going to do, which we believe is the first ever, round of electronic plushies. So these are plushies. We're working on the names. This is the first time we've ever talked about them or showed them off. We have them here.
I'm so excited about
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Bring the plushie.
Yeah.
Bring them.
And so we're working on names, and we'll tell you what the tentative names are.
Okay, I like the capacitor one.
Okay, so
I like
this
the
is
transistor the best.
So this is Cappy the capacitor, and Cappy is kind of like an old kind of salty, like I am a capacitor, you know. And then we have this might be Connie Silicon for the transistor.
They
and
have
then
wire
we have-
in their legs, so
Yeah,
you
they can bend, they're
you can
wiry.
articulate them.
Yeah,
And wrap them around each other. And
yeah. And this
And
is
very headband.
this is Mo the resistor, you know,
Oh,
on his backward.
backwards.
Yeah. And then this is 555. The name of 555 is already. We're not going to have any people vote on this or anything. This is Hans, named after the person who invented it. So
Yeah.
this is Hans, the 555 timer.
I got the LEDs.
Red,
R, G,
Yeah.
and B.
Yeah. So it might be Rudy.
G.
It might be Bluey, and it might be Gus. We haven't decided yet. So what we're going to do is
Gus.
post a photo of each one of these
Ruby. Okay.
on Google Plus or on the blog, and we're going to ask everybody to help us name these. And there's
Except for
squishy-
Hans.
Except for Hans.
Except for Hans.
I have a friend named Hans.
Yeah, Hans is there. Now, if for the folks who are tuning in, you probably saw the beginning of the show, and we had a special guest announce the show. So not only is there the plushies, but the plushies are part of Circuit Playground. And Circuit Playground is a place that you take to Copper Trace to Circuit Playground. And this is Adabot with Adabot's friends, the Circuit Playground. This is a new effort that we're doing here. The Muppet was designed by Annie Fresh. This is a friend of yours, Becky. And now
She designs
friend of ours.
Muppets.
She designs
Yeah.
Muppets.
Cool thing. People are always like, "Why do you guys live in New York? Or it's so expensive." And
Because
like,
you have friends who design Muppets?
You should be in the middle of Arizona or New
Yeah.
Mexico.
No.
And we're like, yeah, but
Yeah.
we can find an actual Sesame Street Muppet maker.
Yeah, so she works
with
on
these.
she works on Sesame Street and the Jim Henson Muppet folks. She works with them, and so we wanted
She's
to
also
do.
a delightful person.
She's also a
She
delightful
also does
person.
version.
And so we wanted to have an Adabot that's gonna be one of the segments upcoming on Ask an Engineer this year and forward.
Yeah.
That'll be part of Ask an Engineer, where maybe you go to Circuit Playground and maybe you'll talk to a capacitor and you'll talk to Adabot. I'm so sorry to do this to you. This is pretty weird. Sorry.
I don't know why I agreed to it.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we thought this would be a fun thing, and one of the things that we want to do is have Adabot talk about how robots can be our friends. We all have seen drones that like shoot people, and there's Terminators that are always going to enslave the population of the world.
Yeah.
But you know, robots are also what we program to do. So we want to have robots talk about how they are friends.
Robots.
The 3 laws of robotics on how they protect people.
Yeah, first robots.
Yeah. So we want to
Robots.
we want to show that robots can be friends too. So that's kind of the theme. So imagine if Elmo did electronics, or if Mr. Rogers was an engineer. That's what we're working on. Yeah.
That's pretty
Get
intense.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm already scared.
Okay.
It's going to be awesome. I'm super excited.
Okay.
I've always wanted to talk to a puppet on camera.
Okay. Next up, are you guys ready for more gigantic
Ever
news?
since I saw Tom York on Sesame Street.
Okay.
Here's more gigantic news.
Okay.
Here is a photo of Adafruit's new headquarters. We're moving.
Yay!
Yep.
We've been working on this for like 9 months.
We've been working on this. We have a beautiful space in Soho. We're staying in Manhattan. It is a little crazy. It's a big deal. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort.
A lot of space.
It's a lot of space. Here's some photos. Again, this is the first time we've ever talked about or showed this. This is
empty.
This is empty. It's currently under construction. It's over 12,000 square feet. This is a Lady Ada to scale.
The more for scale.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll be moving in soon.
I can store 10,000 Lady Adas.
Yeah. It's a couple blocks from the Apple store, so we'll be competing with them, I hope. Or they'll be competing with us. Here's a floor plan. And just to give you some context, this is our floor plan. We have 3 freight elevators, dedicated tractor trailer access in the back with gates to have all of our packages. This is that blue spot right here. That's the current size of Adafruit.
Yeah, we need more space.
So that's the current size of Adafruit. And I just put a little note here. So this isn't, there's no VC. We've never taken funding. And there's no bank loans. This is all our personal money, everything that we've ever done for Adafruit.
Yeah.
We've kind of saved up for this.
Yeah, we've had no investment of any sort ever.
So we have, it's zoned for manufacturing.
Yeah.
So we can increase our pick and place line. We can have everything we need to build the future for Adafruit. We can have a little area for a set for puppets, because I have to work on that now. We have a beautiful area for video, for photoing. We'll be able to have workshops there one day. We'll be able to do a lot. So we'll have more updates, but we wanted to share this with you, our audience. So
also shelves. I'm getting excited about shelves.
Yeah. So by the way, the code is 3. We've got some big rent bills coming
fair,
up soon. Bye, Kit. It'll help us out.
How about buy pizza on moving day?
Yeah.
The code is 3.
That's it. So we're gonna probably run a couple minutes extra on the show. Sorry, George, if you can keep up with this.
Hey,
let's just jump right into new products.
Okay. Let's
do
new products.
Oh my gosh, we're only on new products.
Yeah, I know, but we're gonna get through really fast.
Let's do it.
Products. All right, go. We got these things.
Let me speak.
Yeah, we got these things.
So we basically, well, no, we don't do the overhead.
Okay, no overhead.
If I don't know it, I'll say, let's go to the overhead. Okay. You guys are just like totally out of control. Okay.
I should be a Muppet right now, okay?
Stop. Okay, so we got some more Maxbotic sensors. Maxbotic, the sonars are like the best sonars on the market. I love them. They're really good. And they have like multiple outputs, so you can have like analog or pulse. Like they're not just like one type of output. Like you can adjust them for like different kinds of microcontroller systems, so it's really nice. I think some even have I2C maybe. And we used to carry one. And then they came out with this like high resolution version. I was like, oh, I should really get this. And I was like, oh, I should just get like more of them because like we are gonna have more space soon. So we now carry like a much bigger range. So we think we have like 7 or 8.
And 7.
Yeah, we have 7 different ones now. We got 3 high resolution ones and 3 more of the normal resolution. They're still extremely good resolution, and they have different beam width patterns.
So that's why you would choose a different one over the other, right?
Yeah, because like let's say if you know, depending on what you're doing, maybe you want to detect things only a certain distance away, or you want to detect things only within a narrow cone. So they all have slightly different beam widths. So that's the only thing. You want to go to the next 2?
Yeah.
We also we have a video for this really great microscope stand, which we totally love and is awesome. And Becky did a little video, so maybe she can show it off real fast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go, Becky.
You're probably already aware of how awesome our USB microscope is. And if you're not, you can watch the video I made about it right here. I'll wait. If you already know how awesome the USB microscope is, today I'd like to show you an awesome upgrade. It's this articulated arm microscope stand, and it lets you arrange the microscope in any position you want, especially around larger objects. Let me show you how it works.
The 3 articulated joints are all controlled by a single knob at the elbow, and the microscope is held in place by a ring and buckle at the end. Position your object on or near the platform of the stand and then loosen the articulated arm with the knob. You can easily position the microscope anywhere you want around your object and then focus the microscope to get a good view. I was reminded of my magic arm, which I use to position my camera over my desk to film a lot of my videos. For storage and transport, the stand folds up pretty small. Just loosen the knob and twist the entire arm over the base of the stand, and it becomes this flat, small package you could take with you anywhere.
I hope this cool tool will become an essential on your workbench as it has on mine. And if you like our videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube.
All right. Work, Becky. Okay, next up.
Great work, fast Becky.
Yeah, work fast, Becky.
All right.
We have this little adapter cable. It's actually kind of a cool cable. I haven't seen these before, but when I saw them, I was like, this is really useful. You can plug in our 5-volt wall adapters or any other like 2.1 millimeter thing, and have it output to a USB jack, so you can adapt from a 2.1 millimeter standard power adapter to USB. It's really handy if you have like something that's USB powered and you just want to like connect it direct. Or
Well, if you're traveling and you only want to bring one power supply that charges something, you can plug your phone into it too, or
this one was
whatever.
pretty useful, so I picked one up, and it has a really good 14 gauge wires in it, so it's really nice.
So it's good for high amperage stuff like Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
Okay.
Okay. For this, I do want the overhead.
He thinks, okay.
Excited.
I'll get this right.
Excited people.
Watch out, there's plushies.
Flashy storage.
Yeah.
Hello. So we've got these the TIP 120 Darlington transistors, and the thing about transistors is that they can supply source 5 amps or I think or up to 8 amps peak, but depending on what the voltage across them is, you might need a heatsink because they can only dissipate about 2 watts. So let's say there's a volt across them that's 3 watts, you can't dissipate. Sorry, if there's 1 volt across them and they're sinking 3 amps, you'll need a heatsink. And so I really like these very simple Avid heatsinks. They just they clip on like this, and that's it. So you don't need you can screw them in, but you don't have to. So if you don't have a screw handy, you don't have to do that. And they snap in, so you can put them on and remove them. And they let you do about 4 watts, I think. They do the math. And if you have airflow, I think you can do 5. So they're handy little things.
Okay. And I had some other photos. Here you go. Look at that. Beautiful stuff.
I told you didn't need 5 photos of the heatsink.
Yeah, but they're really
This diagram's really nice.
Okay, and then we got these. These are these international plugs that everyone.
Yeah, these are pretty simple. I don't need to show them on the overhead because they're exactly what they look like on the photo. But basically, we have U.S. only power adapters for the kits that we sell, like the Ice Cube clock, and the Arduino packs. And so people who live in other countries or who travel, like they live in the UK or in Europe or Australia, New Zealand, they might want to use our adapters. So we got these pretty good quality ones. They have they're 2-part and they're screwed together, and they have nice big clips in the inside. So as long as you're using them with a switching power supply that can handle 240 volts, which all of ours can because they're really well designed, you'll be able to use this and travel with your project or use one of our kits in another country without having to buy a whole new power adapter.
Okay.
That one's Australia, for those of you who are probably asking
guys?
in the chat.
You show these?
Yeah, we showed the tip of
All right.
points.
All right, great. And then this is kind of our.
Yeah, this is the project that I've worked on for a long time, and I'll show some of the overhead. It's basically the same as that photo right there.
It's opposite.
Yes.
No, it's facing this way.
Okay.
It's actually what the photo is of this
I'm gonna
exact
grab
one.
the prize.
This is it's deceptively small, but down here there's a little chip. It's like the miniaturest little square ever, and it's so small that we actually had to learn a lot about pick and placing to be able to place this little part. But it's a 3.7 watt Class D amplifier, so it uses pulse width modulation basically to drive these bridge tied load speakers. And we don't have time to do a demo, but we'll do a video. Becky will do a lovely
I'll
video.
do a video about it.
But for example, these are 4 ohm speakers. It can drive down to 3 ohms. And from 3 to 5 volts, and so depending on the voltage and the speaker impedance, of course you're going to get more or less gain. It comes with these terminal blocks, so you can remove speakers. It's got fully differential inputs, and they're also capacitively coupled in. So if you have differential outputs from whatever you're building, that's cool. If not, just tie the negative lines to ground. There's a shutdown pin, so you can put it into low power mode.
Oh, that's convenient.
You want to shut it down very
I
easily.
love to make little battery-powered amps, and I've usually used that.
Yeah, so this is really, really high quality. It's perfect for battery-powered stuff because the quiescent current of the amp is like a couple milliamps. The amp itself does not use any power. And then the efficiency is like 90%. Up to like 90, or it goes up to like 93% because it's Class D. It's not burning off all the heat like a normal transistor amp or like an LM386.
Which is what I usually use.
The LM386 is a lovely little chip, but it's a Class AB, I believe, or a Class B, and so it's dissipating a lot of heat off because it's not fully efficient. Whereas this uses a 300 kilohertz square wave, so it's like super cool. You can read about Class D amps. And,
so if you're looking to kick off your busking career and need a battery-powered amp that's going to last you all day on the subway platform, this might be for you.
And it doesn't have because it's dual, and I wanted to keep it small, there's no potentiometer to change the gain. Usually your gain is changed before the amplifier. But there are 5 different gain settings from 6 dB to 18, and you can set them with a jumper. So you can just, on the fly, you can set the gain. And that's like 5 different ranges. It's actually a pretty good range, and also you can control it with the 2 digital pins if using a microcontroller and you want just the gain. So this is a really, really nice amp. I looked everywhere for the best Class D amplifier, and this was like it. This is the best like 3 to 5 volt Class D amp, because I wanted, like, if people were like, oh, I want to use a wave shield, but I want a bigger speaker. This is it. I found it. So I'm also going to find one that's like does 10 to 15 watts, but then you need 12 volts. Like, you can't run off of a 5 volt power supply. So this is really cool, and you can use it with any microcontroller or any audio project at all. You don't even have to use a microcontroller if you have just an iPod or music player or Raspberry Pi, and the audio you want to amplify it.
Casio keyboard.
And it's stereo. I mean,
and it's stereo.
Just
it
to
does
emphasize
2 channels, but you don't have to use both. If you only want to use one channel, just ground out the second one, and it won't dissipate your power because it's not amplifying anything.
That's trick. Okay, one last thing in the Raspberry Pi zone. We have this VESA mount.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon.
Check it out.
Yep. I'll put it on the overhead. I'm going to show it. This mounts to the back of a monitor or TV.
Comes with these screws.
Yeah, we have a couple monitors here that it
mounts nicely on the back of our computer here.
MomPack.
MomPack. From MomCorp. So, that's it. We'll have these in the store soon. Our laser is super fast, so we can cut many of them now.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm very excited that we have a better, faster laser for faster laser.
Okay.
Cool.
So, we got through all of those.
Okay.
That was new products. We have a couple minutes. Let's do a little bit of a speed round of questions. We're so sorry. We wanted to show you guys all that stuff.
We got puppets and plushies and new space.
Yeah, we
and
wanted to show
cupcakes.
you a lot of things.
Okay, we answer like 3
this is a
questions.
really busy party
out here. So please ask questions related to engineering, and we'll get to them. Here's,
Or Muppets.
Happy to, no,
I'm
no,
gonna.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have a lot of Muppet answers.
We don't have Muppet answers. We only have Muppet questions.
And then we're going to do the
This
trivia
one.
question. The trivia
We're gonna try
question
that one.
Yeah,
tonight, the
chocolate.
prize is going to be
White chocolate, macadamia.
a Raspberry Pi with veg. Price on the plushies.
Oh, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Please ask your engineering questions.
engineering
It's not
questions.
out yet.
Yeah.
Please ask engineering questions about engineering.
I'm going for this one. Let's see.
Does Adafruit have a voice mod? Yeah, it is. It is a real-time voice mod, and I'll eventually write about it because
It's super cool.
no one's really done this, so it's a little weird how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you totally Googled out how to like voice mod to robot voice for my Muppet, and like Google
No
was
one's
like
done
0
this. Okay,
hits.
can you use one timer for 4 input captures on an X Mega?
I don't know. Check the data sheet.
Tips for approaching a local library and starting a maker hackerspace. Read my article about libraries should turn into tech shops or makerspaces, hackerspaces. On Make, there's some follow-ups on libraries that have done it, and they've talked about how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone done VGA output for the Raspberry Pi?
I don't believe you can. You can do NTSC or HDMI. You could use like an HDMI to VGA adapter, but unfortunately the chip does not do VGA native.
Okay. What do you think of the Avatar board, APC8750? We posted a photo of it. We ordered it and we didn't expect it to show up. So we have it.
It doesn't have any GPIOs though.
Yeah, it's kind of like a phone breakout board, if I could...
Yeah.
Hello. And they have this sticker that says it's a bicycle for your mind, which was what Apple said. I don't think it's what they think it is. But anyways, it was a little... It's a
little weird.
It's all a lot. Next up.
I think Foxconn made it, so...
I don't know, yeah. New power speed material tweaks for the 60-watt laser tube. Yeah, we do have to change all the settings.
Yeah. And make sure it doesn't catch on fire.
Next up, why isn't there a breadboard plushie? Oh, we're not done. You know how many?
Oh.
Do you know how many components there are and things that we can turn into plushies?
That's
a
a good
lot.
question.
A
Breadboard
lot.
would be a good one.
Okay.
not out yet,
Next,
Because I haven't made a headband out of this one yet.
can you brick a pie? You
Yeah,
could.
you can.
It's possible.
Don't.
This person wants a magic plushie. Yep, working on it.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding?
Flora update. Becky's
working
been
on it.
working
We
on
just,
it.
like,
Yeah, we
that
just
was
went over
part
that.
Yeah, did you
Just a
watch the
Flora
show? We
update.
just said we just
On the
talked
Google
about
Plus page, Phil posted a picture of this thing that I made that was a ring light for my camera. I've always wanted one of those like ring lights so that you can get real close to things and have a nice even light source. And I wanted to make it on a piece of fabric, so I embroidered like a round strip of LEDs and of our new Flora pixels. And then I like put elastic on it and I put it on my camera and I was like, sweet, ring light. And then I realized that I was actually a 13-year-old girl and I had made a scrunchie.
Okay.
it. Crunchy.
All right. So it's 11. So we're
That's
gonna.
your update.
Yeah. So we got through as many as we can.
Okay, great.
Next week, Waz is gonna be on the show.
What?
Oh,
By
that's
the way,
great.
to continue
Waz.
this 3-year celebration, you know what I can't wait to see is Waz singing with Adabot. Not me.
She will.
The Adabot.
Yeah.
The little robot. That'll be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves to sing.
Gotta work on that.
We'll make her sing.
You guys can practice.
Okay, so let's do trivia question.
Do you want me to get the cat while you do the trivia question?
Yeah.
Okay, can you go
if you
get
could do that.
3 years of cat.
Yeah, 3 years of cat.
Okay.
All right.
What is a trivia question?
Well, do the rules.
Okay, the rules are, even though it's our special 3-year anniversary show, do not enter this if you've already won a fabulous prize for us, because we want to make sure everybody gets a chance, and we have a lot of new people, so we want everyone to get a prize.
Yeah. Okay. The prize tonight is a Raspberry Pi with a Raspberry Pi skill badge.
Ooh, nicely embroidered.
Yeah, these are hard to get, these Raspberry Pis.
Okay, so the first
but
person
you're gonna win
with
one.
the first person with the correct answer that we see in our chat window, not your chat window, our chat window,
Yeah.
is the winner. What's the and if you know the answer, but you've already won something,
Yeah.
send your hands.
Are you ready?
Seriously.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What was the first date we used the term Ask an Engineer on the Adafruit blog? Now, it's gonna be a little hard to find.
Super fans, kick in your super fan
Yeah.
superpowers.
Can I put like a plushie on the cat?
Yeah, of course.
You're gonna have to.
He doesn't like it.
It's not 9109.
Okay, maybe 555.
Yeah, that's good,
That's
huh?
good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that's but my laugh's not quite good.
Start dates
My
don't
cat
count.
complains about that too.
420 is wrong. So I'll give you guys a hint. You could put in Ask an Engineer in quotes, and then in the blog, and you can search. It's not 999. It's not 9209. Let's see who gets it first.
Did you see they made the legs better? So
Yeah, the legs are way better.
They couldn't. I asked them about the wire all the way through, but they said they couldn't because of the way they attach it. It
No,
makes
no,
sense.
no, it's fine.
But this is better.
This is fun.
No one got it yet.
Oh, come on, guys.
I know, right?
Just go to the earliest
Isn't that
post in
free?
the category.
Yeah.
I mean,
The first time
what?
Ask
It's
an
like
Engineer.
we're overtime already, right? Somebody's got to get it. Usually they get it right away.
So it's. I would go to the blog. I would search.
Oh
for Ask an
He's
Engineer.
like, what the hell is
catnip in it.
We'll totally gonna put catnip in it, and then he'll just go crazy.
Do
We should.
people furiously
we'll
going
just
to the
rip
blog
this-
and searching
Yeah.
it?
and then just shove the catnip
Yeah.
in, and then we'll just be like, face hugger. What?
First time mentioned on the blog.
Did
Ask
you
an
hear about the
Engineer.
plan we came up with while we're waiting for someone to get the answer? Catnip plushies.
Catnip.
Phil.
Oh man, we're not gonna put catnip in this.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna.
We're gonna DIY the catnip one.
Yeah, no one's got it so far.
Wow.
You know what? There might not be a winner. We might have to save
I thought
this
you guys
for-
were. I
Okay.
thought you guys were fans.
Yeah, they're not real fans. I thought they were fans too. Guess not.
Okay.
Oh,
Little
well.
eye goober.
Yeah, he's an older cat.
Old kitty.
He's an old kitty.
Yeah, maybe everyone won before, so they can't.
Oh, they all won. Oh, all the super fans have won a prize before.
I don't care.
see.
Even if you.
Ah.
All right, so here's the thing.
They're just doing it to keep us on the air longer.
Here's the thing. What we're gonna do. The person who wins next week is gonna get double prize.
Wow. Wow, guys.
No way.
Wow.
Someone said Eric
You had
S.
a
Raymond. That's a good
It's
answer.
never Eric S. Raymond.
All right.
You guys had a chance.
It's also
So-
never Lupus.
Oh wait, someone just got it.
Okay, great.
Pryodog
Better late
82209.
than never.
Here it is. The first time, August 22nd, 2009. You got it.
Hooray!
Yay!
You get the Raspberry
You
Pi.
won a Raspberry Pi and a Raspberry Pi
Pryodog,
badge.
you got it. Congratulations. That's the first time we said the term "Ask an Engineer" on the Adafruit blog.
Before the patent of that guy who threatened
Yeah.
trademark.
Yeah, a little kind of side note in Ask an Engineer world. We received a nasty email from someone who said, "I have the patent on the name Ask an Engineer." Now, first off, you don't patent names. Second off, what? And so we actually had we had to spend money. We had to have our lawyer tell this guy basically like go away. But yeah,
Because he trademarked it after we'd been using it.
that's right.
Yeah.
So
It's just kind of sad.
yeah, funny. Okay.
We're pretty
Wait
good with the
till it's
Googles.
time.
We always Google things before we use
Yeah.
them.
All
Are you ready?
Yeah, here is your moment of cat.
Okay, and put the 555 on the cat.
Wait, you're gonna put it on his head?
Yeah, we were practicing
Because
earlier.
you can't see his eyes, so this way you can see him.
Oh, so this is a cat with a 555 timer plushie on it?
Yeah.
Well, this is certainly a first for the internet.
No, there's totally a Tumblr called 555 Tumblr plushies on cats.
Is it really?
Tumblr.com. Yeah, totally.
Mosfet, this is your new friend. And if it had catnip in it, you would like it so much.
Yeah.
It does kind of look like a gigantic bug.
Face hugger.
Yeah. I know, Mosfet. Look,
He's so sad.
Mario the cat. Mario the cat has to jump in boxes.
Okay.
He has to play around with electronic fun.
Yeah, he lives in cat paradise in a mountain
Okay,
of boxes.
you get that? Okay.
He couldn't be a happier
Sorry,
cat.
sorry about that.
All right. So we're
He's happy. He's not scared. He's just like, I don't understand.
He's totally chill. Don't worry
He
about
doesn't
it.
get it.
We're really nice to animals. We
He's
all love
very
animals.
nice.
Okay, once again, thank you, everyone, for your support over the last 3 years. This has been fantastic. Thanks for showing up tonight, Becky. This is great. Three. Thanks to everybody on this list. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. I also tried to do. I got it in alphabetical order. I did a pretty good job. Yeah, and we'll see everyone next week. Waz is going to be on the show next week. Lots of new stuff in store coming up soon. Ask an Engineer is going to get a big upgrade. We're going to have new segments. We're going to have Muppets. It's going to be great.
That's your brain exploding from all the
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we're going to have some cupcakes after this.
We're going to have a cat.
And we'll see everybody next week. Here is your moment of Zener.